guess I technically don't need to do, well, we need to do a 1-2 clap, right? It's terrifying. Hey guys, thanks for checking out part 2 of this video. We are going to continue. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, go over to Blockhead's channel and check out part 1. So this is the part 2, and we're going to go ahead and start with the question that we got. It's specifically directed towards me. Blockhead, you can answer this one as well if you want to, if you identify with it. But this question is, what has been my experience dealing with the negative stigma as a female rider, and how do I feel about proving that wrong? I haven't really experienced a negative stigma. I do think I've experienced like some sexism towards riding. For example, I have been to dealerships before where I know for a fact you're allowed to test ride some of their bikes, and when I was in the market to test ride a new bike, I was refused to. Well, I had my endorsement and everything, like I had my license, I have owned motorcycles before, and they would not let me test ride a motorcycle. Obviously, if you know, sign your life away and you are actually about to buy it, they wouldn't mind, but I was just really put off because I know for a fact my friends had been there to test ride motorcycles. And another example is when I went to look at my dyno for the first time at a dealership, I walked in and I said exactly what I was looking for. I said, "You have a 2009 Dyna Superglide in the back. I want to see it." And the guy immediately asked me if it was for my husband.
I mean, yeah, I definitely have experience with that. Obviously, not like for me personally, but you know, with my ex, and then even with, you know, women that I'm friends with, you definitely see like within the moto industry. I mean, within many industries, still the auto industry in general.
There is the stigma with it, but like I've said, that's changing. The women motorcycling community is growing fast, and that's very exciting. And how do I feel about proving that stigma wrong? I really just want to get it out there, especially to other women riders. Like, you do not have to be a gearhead. You do not have to understand anything about automobiles or mechanics. Like, you just need to understand how to ride the thing, how to do it safely, and just, you know, take it to go get service if you want to. Like, I don't do my oil changes and crap. Like, I pay the professionals. I ride my bike, and it's been the best experience of my whole life. So I'm very happy to see the comments every single day from people saying that I've been an inspiration, because I never ever thought I would be that to women, especially. I don't know. I just kind of do whatever the hell I want.
That's what you got to do. Just do what you want. I'm gonna take a ride into here real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we gonna take a break? Because I'll swap battery.
Yeah.
12 seconds later.
I guess I technically don't need to do, well, we need to do a 1-2 clap, right? It's terrifying.
The YouTube thing, like, if anybody's like, that dude's watching us, you're like, what the fuck are they doing?
There was a bug.
The stupid shit we do as YouTubers.
Yeah. Well, we are, is your bike a lady?
I don't name my bikes or really give them like
neutral. God, that's so progressive. Good for you.
I say it's a 2020 Lowrider S.
Yeah. Well, she's a girl despite her big black sissy bar.
As I'm leaning against it, I'm like, oh.
So we're switching bikes for a quick second.
High kick. Made it. Ooh, damn, this thing sets high.
Oh my god, baby shifters. Well, clutch and stuff. Oh my god, these are so tiny.
Are they awesome?
They're so cute.
Trigger levers. All right, so where are we at? I recently got my 8th tattoo. What was your first, and how many do you have now? So, my first tattoo I got probably like over 10 years ago. I was living in Texarkana, Texas with my best friend, and we worked in the service industry. We had a friend that we also worked with who worked at a tattoo shop, and so he basically told us like, hey, anytime you guys want a tattoo, like, come on by. So we woke up one random morning, it was like a Tuesday. It's basically like, hey, you want to go get tattoos? And we were like, all right, sure. So we went down to the tattoo shop, got some tattoos, and I got the most cliche tattoo ever. It's a red and black nautical star, but it's upside down on my ankle. And it's faded to shit because I didn't take care of it at all. It's a really just terrible tattoo. I mean, the lines aren't bad, But I thought about getting it covered up, but at the same time, it's kind of like, no, man. Like, it marks a time in my life, you know, that is very memorable and important to me. And I think kind of like some of the meaning behind the nautical star obviously being symbolizing guidance. I didn't have a lot of guidance at that time in my life, so it being upside down kind of makes even more sense because I was definitely lost. Yeah, not covering it up, but that was my first one, and I currently have a total of 11 tattoos.
I do think I will do a tattoo tour video on my channel sometime in the future.
Yeah, I've been asked a couple times to do one, so.
I can't remember if you mentioned, how old were you?
I was probably 21.
All right.
22-ish, right around there.
So I was 18, of course. When I got my first tattoo, I was in graphic design school in high school. So emo and artistic and expressive, and I still to this day keep the same theme, but my very first tattoo is I love mermaids, I love fantasy, and I'm a Pisces, and I love my sign. I don't know if anyone believes in that stuff. I don't even care if it's real or not. I think it's so fun to pretend. So I got my Pisces symbol with, instead of two fish, if you're familiar with the symbol, it's two fish swimming around each other. I got two mermaids swimming around each other, and it's on my upper back, up on my shoulder. It was just, I thought I was the coolest person in the whole world. I felt so cool having that tattoo, and in hindsight now, I'm like, oh, you're adorable. Of course you got your zodiac sign.
Yeah, it's funny, like, same thing at the time whenever I got that tattoo, I was like, hell yeah, you know?
Yeah, but even if, I don't know, I feel like I am a very go with the flow person, and I'm still a very artistic person, so and I still absolutely love mermaids, so I don't regret it at all. I do think I want to get a full back piece one day, so I'll probably incorporate it somehow with the rest that I want to get, but I currently have, I think I counted 15 tattoos.
Yeah, your leg is covered, like, top to bottom.
It's my pant leg.
Pant leg.
But it all holds very true to the same theme. It's all very fantasy, mystical, pretty stuff, so.
All right, so the next question is, any tips for a soon-to-be new rider?
My number one tip for new riders is, I think you have to be humble with yourself. You have to accept the fact that mistakes will be made, and just keep practicing. Don't get discouraged. It's a lot, especially if you are not familiar with motorcycles. It's a lot to take in all at once. My personal advice is, if you've watched any of my older my older videos, I failed my motorcycle safety foundation class, and it was devastating. So just keep with it, and just practice every day. Practice really does make perfect, and just don't get discouraged. Just keep with it. It gets so much better. Yeah,
there's some people that pick it up immediately that are just for some reason it's easy for them, but there's some people that don't pick it up immediately, and it requires more practice, and neither route is incorrect, you know. I mean, obviously if you get it right off the bat and you're comfortable with it, you know, that's awesome. If you have experience, you know, driving a stick shift car, there's going to be a lot of that comes over and using the clutch and throttle and all that, shifting gears. You know, if it's not something that comes to you immediately, like she said, practice. Don't be discouraged. You know, we're all new at some point. You know, we all started from nothing, and nobody came out the womb riding a motorcycle. If you did, I would love to hear from you. But yeah, like, my biggest tips is, you know, like Jess and I had mentioned in the previous video, like I put out videos basically like trying to get people comfortable if they're looking into learn how to start riding. And so, like, I've got, you know, a bunch of videos going over if you're looking into getting into it, if you're looking for like some explanations behind all of it. And there's some of my top performing videos, and it's just because, you know, like the way that I learn is different than, you know, a lot of people out there. I wasn't one of those people that got it immediately. I had to put a lot of like time and effort into, you know, researching it and understanding like how the clutch works. And, you know, it's like, well, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to pull that into shift gears? And like, can you skip over gears? And so I basically tried to like forward the knowledge that I've gained through those. Biggest piece of advice is sign up for an MSF course, or whatever the course is called in whatever country you're in, to basically like give you that that foundation, that solid foundation. Woo! That was a good size bump, man. Holy shit. So yeah, like get that foundation down for sure. And then obviously, like if you sign up for an MSF course and you want kind of like a little bit more help, check out the how to ride videos. But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, go at your own pace. There's always that saying, ride your own ride. Don't feel like pushed or pressured because, you know, people are leaning harder than you or going faster than you. If you're not comfortable, slow down, lean less. Just go at your own pace. Everybody learns at their own pace. So the next one is what keeps you riding. But I think that kind of ties in with the, you know, the 3 things that we love about riding, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely the feeling you get while riding, the people you meet while riding, and the bikes itself keep me coming back.
So we'll, yeah, see the previous answers for that. How has fame changed you since your solo moto camping video went viral? Now that is a Jess question because she had this solo moto camping video that went hella viral. It was like, what's it at now? Like 400,000?
I think over 600.
600,000? Whew, and you put it out like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
Yep.
As of us filming this? Crazy, that's awesome.
Yeah, fame is a strong word. That is unnecessary. But it has definitely been, it's really opened my eyes to the people that watch my channel and what they come here for. And I love like the diversity that popular video has brought in, because at first it was all just people interested in motorcycles, and now I have people coming to my channel and they're like, I don't care about motorcycles, but you are entertaining and this is fun and you're funny. And I'm like, oh cool. Like, I didn't expect to appeal to a wider audience, but fame personally, also not famous, it's been interesting. I've met some of you guys watching right now. I've met you in person, and I keep saying it, meeting my subscribers in real life is definitely the biggest perk of this hobby, because it just helps me realize like you're real and you watch my channel and you might not comment on everything, but that's fine because like you're the person on the other side of the screen making this possible.
Yeah, being able to meet the people that actually watch the content, like, you know, like FLMM, people come up and they're like, oh, like, thank you for making the videos. And I'm like, thank you for watching them.
Yeah.
You know?
It would quite literally be nothing but a visual diary without...
Yeah. Which is fine. Like, you know, I think that's one of those cool things about YouTube is that you kind of get to document, you know, like whatever it is that you're filming. And so with me, with you, that's your journey through, you know, motorcycles and this industry and this lifestyle and all that. But the added perk of being able to do that and have that artistic fulfillment behind creating videos is that people also are able to find a connection in it. And to me, like, that is by far the most amazing, like, goosebumps under my armor.
Prove
yeah,
it.
by far the most amazing thing. Yeah, because like I had a guy come up and he gave me a challenge coin from I forget where it was, Baghdad. He served in Baghdad, and he was like, your videos got me through going crazy over there. And I'm like, dude, like that is just huge. So like seeing how the community like interprets or finds something in the videos, like that's definitely the most rewarding thing about the whole thing.
It makes it worth it for sure.
Yeah. And like you were saying, it's like people commenting not just on the fact that like you're doing motorcycle stuff, but like that they find you funny, like the personality. I always tell people that. I'm like, it's such a huge part of a successful YouTube channel is that you have to let your personality come through, because people form that attachment like to you. There's channels that I'm subscribed to that they're doing something totally different now than what they started originally, but I still subscribe to them because like they could talk about whatever the hell they want. It's the person that I'm interested in.
Absolutely.
So that's why like I stay subscribed to them. Okay, so we've made it through most of the questions except the last one. What was it again?
Last question. With your YouTube channel, what would you do different?
Dang, so dramatic. Little turn.
That'll snap my neck.
I don't know, like I think in the beginning, it was definitely like a really hard push to, you know, be consistent with content. It was like pretty much working 2 full-time jobs. You know, I've restructured things right now to where I can put more time and effort towards YouTube. At the time, I couldn't do that because it wasn't, you know, to the place that it is now. So I think in the beginning, I would try to probably find a little bit more of like a work-life balance, because, you know, there was some stuff there in the beginning where, you know, I was so focused on it, you know, becoming like a thing. It was impacting other parts of my life Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing that I would change. Otherwise, like, I really wouldn't change much beyond that because it's all a learning experience. Like,
I was definitely going to say you learn.
Yeah, it's because of like those things that like I did go through that I was able to kind of, make it to the point that it is today. Like I've picked up, editing tricks along the way, learned editing stuff, like, learned about camera gear, camera equipment. It's like you had said earlier, like one of those evolving things. It's just constantly changing and you're constantly learning. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons that I stick with it is because it's constantly a challenge. And it's for the most part, like creatively fulfilling. And that's like a really big thing to me.
I agree with that. I just constantly feel like I'm looking for new things to think about, to talk about, to experience. And even though like my style hasn't changed much, it's ever evolving.
But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty happy with how it's gone. It's been a crazy journey.
You should be.
From an Iron 883 to like what it is now.
It's amazing. Just the amount of effort and the payoff has been truly inspiring. So
yeah,
good job.
Thanks. And it's super cool to see you kind of coming up and doing that same thing. It's like actually one of the questions that I did get that I saw was like, how did you two basically like get connected? The first message that I got from you, because I had to scroll back and see, like on Instagram, and you had sent me a thing that Suburban Delinquent shared about a meetup that like I didn't even know about.
That's right. I forgot.
And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I didn't even know this was happening. I was like, thanks for sharing it with me. And you're like, oh, shit. You're like, I'm so sorry. I hope it didn't ruin like a surprise. And I'm like, no, you're good. And then like you were in Ohio, met like in passing because they were like pushing us out. And then you started, like doing the moto vlog. And I'm constantly watching, the scene and how it's going. And you were putting out consistent content. And you would like ask me questions.
Yeah.
And the questions that you were asking me, I'm like, she's asking the right questions.
Oh, nice.
Because I get a lot of people, that ask me questions, but they're not quite like the questions that you were asking. You were asking like very like technical stuff on like, how to do things or things to like help with certain areas of growth, but not just like growth as a whole.
Yeah.
And so I was like, she's onto something. And I'm like, if she makes consistent quality content, like she's going to be a success. And so you have been. And that's why I've continued to push her, promote her, because there's that niche,
Thanks,
people need that insight from the female perspective. That's why I started doing test rides with Anna.
Yeah.
Because it offers that female perspective and that's valuable. It's just different. I mean,
it's definitely, I've had people comment on my channel, especially if I do test ride videos. They're like, you would never hear a guy say those things. And I think for me personally, like I said, I am not mechanically inclined. It's the experience, it's the emotion for me. So when I test ride a bike, it's all about how it feels, how I feel. And I think that resonates with a lot of people because if you are a gentleman watching the channel, and I'm not saying things that you typically get from a male's perspective point of view, it is kind of like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I know what you're talking about, but I never heard anyone say it like that. So,
and that's valuable whenever you're looking up like product reviews or whatever it may be. Like, and as you get to develop like more of a connection and get to know that person, the personality that's behind it, like then you start like valuing their opinion or like, taking whatever it is that they say, like in I don't know, that certain like way that they deliver that information or whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super cool that you're filling that niche. So keep up the good job.
Thanks, man.
Full support. This is going on your channel, so I can't tell people to go subscribe to you.
You can, and it's their choice.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is part 2 of our Q&A video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really liked the questions. I feel like a lot of these questions, I'm sure you can relate, they are the same questions all the time. These ones were fun. Why is guac extra? Because life is not fair. That's why.
That's the better answer, the better short answer.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're going to wrap up this video. It's getting a little long. Thank you guys so much for checking out. Thanks Blockhead for doing this dual vlog with me. Thanks for checking out my channel and listening to some of my questions and answers. And just thanks for the support. This has been definitely the best experience.
Full support.
Until the next video, you guys be a good boy, and I'll see you later.
Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell and drink iced coffee.
Yes.